This is One on One. There she is, Jenna Wolfe, who is a TV journalist, lifestyle and fitness expert, and the author of Thinner in 30. You look fabulous.
I didn't know where you're going with the F. You spent a long time making your mouth like this. I got nervous. I almost left, but I'm staying, and thank you so much.
And you're making a difference every day in the lives of so many people.
I'm trying. It's what's more important is what I say to people. Well, I have my job, and I have this. You have nothing if you don't work, is what I say, right? If you don't work, nothing around you will work. And people blow it off, and people say they'll start Monday, and people say they'll start next month or next week, but this is it. This is your life. This isn't dress rehearsal.
When did you know that fitness and a very healthy obsession with fitness was going to be such a big part of your life?
So I had an aha moment probably a little after, a couple years after college, when I realized that the only thing in life that we can control is our bodies. Not the weather, not traffic, nothing else but our bodies. And it's not easy. If you want a thinner stomach, if you want bigger biceps, if you want, you know, bigger legs, whatever it is, you can have that. You have to work for it, and you have to eat right, but you can control your body. And once I realized that it's the only thing we really have control over, I fell in love with helping other people who felt like, well, I can't do it. But you can. All the other things you have to rely on life and other people to help out with, except the one thing that people just seem to want to give up on because they think it's too hard. And I was fascinated by the transformation process, the not just the before and after, the getting from before to after. And when you convince someone else that they have the power to change their own body, it's a wonderful thing, and then I like to help them do it.
And some of the keys in this book, I was talking just about my wife and I, who try to do the right thing, and I told you she works harder than I do. She has a trainer who's very, you know, you did well, and a bit of a...
Come on, I'm being funny, Steve.
You're being funny, but you're also being accurate.
Only because I know what you do to work out. I'm sorry I had to go there. I took you there. I'm more of a fan of working with a personal trainer who knows your body and really is going to push you, and then you can graduate and do that stuff on your own, rather than tell people what you do. And believe me, I applaud
I did that in confidence. I did that.
Okay. Steve likes to stand in front of the mirror and just look at himself and do these daily affirmations. And I said, that's not going to get you.
I did not say that. I said I do the stair stepper, the elliptical, and I tell you I spin, we call it cycling, twice a week. And that's cardio 6 times a week with the weights. And so, but I don't do it with a trainer who pushes me really hard. And I got the yoga instructor once a week. So what am I not doing right?
All of that stuff is great, and I'm just joking.
My wife has a trainer who's much tougher.
No, I don't love the elliptical. I love the stepper. That's the single greatest thing you can do.
It's much harder.
It's much, of course.
Why go to the elliptical?
Why we always go take the easier route, right? It's easier to eat kind of crappy food, and it's easier to just skip one day from the gym. And it's all we always do. We want to do the things that are easy. We never get good at the things that are hard for us. I think you're doing everything great. If you ask me, well, what's the difference, I would have to point to the diet. The diet is actually 75 to 80% of the way you look, and it has to go hand in hand with how you move. And if it doesn't, then you're really spinning your wheels, and you're going to be fit, but you're not going to be in the shape that you want to be in.
And talk about that, because in this book, there are some tangible tips. I looked at them, I was like, what's the thing with the water in the morning? It hit me right away. 3 or 4 tangible tips immediately that people can start working on that will make a difference.
Easy. So real quick, the book is set up. People don't want to change. It's hard. Change is like the ugliest thing in the world. It's really difficult, especially as we get older. Nobody wants to change. So I figure, how can people change without changing? Well, if I give you one small thing to do every day, I mean really small, easy, doable things, and you do nothing else but that one, then on day 2, you do 1 and 2. Right. And on day 3, 1, 2, 3, then maybe after a month, you have sort of backed your way into changing your approach to fitness and to movement and to eating. So, for example, the water, the sips that you laughed at. We go to sleep.
I didn't laugh at it.
You didn't laugh. You thought it was hard?
No, I thought it was great because it didn't seem like a big deal.
Right.
But big impact.
So here's the deal. You go to sleep at night, right? You don't have anything in your system from the time you go to sleep to the time you wake up in the morning. You are completely dehydrated. Completely. You wake up and you have a little coffee, you go for breakfast. You never make up that dehydration.
And I jump right into the machine.
That's
Bad idea?
Bad idea. First thing, drink water. And I don't want you counting. I don't need you, the ounces and the cups and the 8 ounces of the 8-cup cups. No. Swallow 20 times. It's about 8.5, 9 ounces of water. Anyone can count your swallows. It's a great way to just wake up, curb your appetite right off the bat, get your metabolism going, just let your body know you're rehydrating, you're getting ready to start your day. Then you do nothing else all day, and then on day 2, I give you another tip. And that's sort of the way the book is set up, with a little flair and a sense of humor and all these conversations I have with my parents, where that was the inspiration behind writing this. Some of the conversations I had with them are ridiculous.
What do you mean with your parents? What does that have to do with it?
For example, I came home one day and my dad was literally eating peanuts out of one of those like Costco planter peanut things. And I was like, I couldn't even get the words out. I was like, what are you doing? And my dad says to me, why? These are so light. How could they be fattening? And I was like, how could I have come from you? Like, how did you make me? Like, we're so different.
You weren't saying that.
No, so I wrote it.
You were thinking about it.
I basically wrote it in a book.
Tell everyone what the problem is with peanuts from the trough.
You know what I'm saying.
Yes,
like, it's just, you don't...
It doesn't look... It looks innocuous.
Of course.
But...
hand after hand, it's mindless eating. And mindless eating is going to get you every time. And there's nothing wrong with nuts. It's good. It's good fat. You really want to get some good fat into your system. But people don't know where to stop. And so, avocados are great. I'll have 12. So you have to be careful. You can't possibly burn all the calories that you consume. So you really do have to watch what you eat on a daily basis.
Could you do the carb thing for us? Put carbs in perspective, please.
So I am never under the umbrella of giving up something entirely. I don't ever want you to get rid of a food group. So one of the steps in here that I say is cut off the simple carbohydrates after 6 p.m. The things that your body will just crash through and then you'll need more. No sugar, no flour, no wheat, no pasta, no white rice. You can have complex carbohydrates, sweet potato and vegetables and grains and things like that.
Your body can do something with that.
Your body can absolutely do something like that. Use it as energy, right? That it doesn't need to replenish right away. You'd be surprised. You've worked all day to try to be good with your diet. You focus so much. You go to the gym first thing in the morning. Nighttime comes. You go out for dinner. The first thing they put down, bread basket. It's so good. Whatever they do to that butter, how do they make it so good? So you don't eat the bread basket. You don't order the pasta. You don't get the big comfort meal that you really crave at the end of the day that you've worked so hard to follow your diet. So if you just stop eating that comfort food, I say from 6 p.m., most of us go to bed 9, 10 o'clock at night. You give your body a chance to work on the other healthier foods that you put in your system. You'd be surprised how much weight you can actually lose that way.
The Jenna Wolfe show.
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
So there are very, very few times in life where you could dive into an untapped space, right? Everything's been invented. Technology is so far ahead of where you and I are ever gonna get to. I don't even understand, like, Snapchat is like too far ahead of me, right? But what no one is doing right now is a full show on social media. People do Facebook Lives all the time. They turn the camera on themselves whenever the moment strikes, but no one is doing actual content, daily content, an actual show from a significant amount of time every single day that people turn into. 5 years from now, I predict that content on social media, live streaming content, will be where Netflix and Amazon was 5 years ago, where people laughed and said, why would you put a show on Amazon? That's where you buy things. No one's going to watch. And now look, I mean, they're winning Golden Globes. That's where live streaming content is going to be. Now, maybe I'm jumping in a little too early. People aren't really sure they understand it, but I do a 4-hour show 4 hours of live streaming show every day. Sometimes we walk around. Sometimes we interview people. It's loose, it's open. We interact with people asking questions all the time, which you can't really yet do on a television platform. And I love it. I'm exhausted. I basically have to like pick me up off the floor. But we hit every topic. All the things I didn't have an opportunity to do at the Today Show, just because it's short periods of time, segments are so short, I can have an hour-long conversation with someone and really get into the heart and soul of what they do and why they do it. And I love it, and it's a lot of fun.
By the way, you're at the Today Show from what years?
I was there from 2007 until last year, so I was there about 10 years. Crazy.
You've had a fascinating career already, and you're still doing great things, and you continue to.
Thank you very much.
And the most important thing about you that strikes me is that you really just want to help people.
That's it. And I'm doing it now with kids. I have a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old, and I want them to see that I'm going to the gym. I don't want to say, hey, I'm going to the gym. I want you to see that I run around and I move. And you were talking about that with your kids. You need to be an example for them without always telling them, maybe sometimes showing them. So it's with my kids, it's with my clients that I train. I wrote the book for my parents and everyone else. I learned a lot about this. I want other people to.
So tomorrow morning when I am about to go on the elliptical, I'm not going on, I'm going on the stair stepper because of Jenna Wolfe. Thinner and 30, small changes that add up to big weight loss in just 30 days. You are terrific.
Thank you.
And by the way, your problem is that you don't have enough energy.
I know. I got to really just amp it up a little bit.
That was
Thank
great.
you very much.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. This special edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato is brought to you from the Tisch WNET studios at Lincoln Center. Funding has been provided by Wells Fargo, Caldwell University, Suez, Ready for the Resource Revolution, Hackensack Meridian Health, Hackensack University Medical Center Foundation, Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey, and by Century 21 Construction. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.